An hour ago, USA were on a roll and on the charge, but now Europe are just 1 point away from victory. Look at this. It's a tale of a game of two halves, certainly in this afternoon session. All red for the first half of the session, and then a couple of blue wins put Europe just 1 point away from that famous Weber Cup trophy. Can they win it in this game? Let's find out with Cass Edwards and Simon Golding.
Thanks, Tony. Well, the fans here in the Barnsley Metrodome and Team Europe want to get it done right here, right now. But this has been a war of attrition this afternoon. A really tough oil pattern picked by Tommy Jones, the US captain, and it's worked a treat. It's caused some serious problems for all the players. So we've had low-scoring games, but boy, have we had some excitement. Bill O'Neill is the man in the hot seat in so many ways. He has not contributed at all to the US performance this year. He needs to find from somewhere a game that will help his team extend this into the evening session, and he's alongside the big man, the big nasty Wes Malott from Texas, who has also had his trials and tribulations on this oil pattern. But Cass Edwards, the same can be said for Oscar and Martin. The two Scandinavians have not enjoyed 45 feet of oil.
No, certainly not. It's sorted the men out from the boys. Advantage to Team USA at the moment, having won 3 on the bounce, but now Europe are 2 back, and we come down maybe to the final game. And as you said, it's pressure very much on Bill O'Neill. He needs to find something here after 4 dreadful singles matches through the whole tournament.
Well, that's the downside of things. On the upside of things, let's not forget how well Team Europe have played, and the man in your picture, Martin Larsen, has been quite brilliant. First 2 days he was virtually untouchable. Today on this oil pattern, like everybody else, he's had a tough time of it. And what we may have is a situation where we do come down to just that one shot to decide where things go during the course of Weber Cup 16. And, well, Murphy's Law, it's going to fall to Bill O'Neill yet again. He has been put under pressure so many times at this championship, and on every occasion he's come up short. Palermaa, the two-hander, we expected him to burn the oil off. I guess the better thing for Oscar this time around is at least he is on the burn. Third time we've played the long sword oil pattern, so there might be a bit of room for him to work.
Yeah, there certainly will. He doesn't need to go crazy and over burn the ball, rip the label off it. It is the 3rd match, as you say, that we've played on this pattern, and the guys are just about ready to go.
Practice ball's over. Referee Bernie White on the stage to rack them up. Might just be one more delivery. No, it's the pins have gone. So the next deck that arrives is the one that they will be bowling at to open up. And there he is, big Wes Malott. No surprise to see that he's been asked to lead off in this one. I don't think they had any other choice. The look in Bill O'Neill's eyes at the moment tells the story. He's a man lost here at this Weber Cup. But Wes Malott, he's a fighter, the Texan then. The big nasty's last stand. Is that what it's going to be? Or are Team USA going to be able to propel this Weber Cup into an evening session?
Not being a betting man, as you know.
Just as well. Oh no, well, a solid looking shot leaves a 10, and has that set the tone for this match?
Those pesky corner pins yet again. Unfortunately, Wes couldn't shoot it out. It leaves Bill O'Neill to spare this one. A man who has been suffering, shall we say.
Scotch doubles, so that means that Wes Malott will step up again in frame 2. But if Team Europe are not striking as well, then this one could be very, very tight. But Martin Larsen looks pretty relaxed. Oscar looks pretty relaxed as well. The two teams there sat next to each other, still talking and still friends, I can assure you. But the look on the Americans' faces, PB3 and Captain Tommy Jones, tells you all you need to know. This has been a brutal 3 days of competition. And the two men up on the stage for Team USA are going to have to go through it all again if they want to prolong this session. Larsen. A little delay on that ball because his daughter burst into tears just before he bowled. So his wife has just taken daughter away from the stage, and Larsen just seems to have taken all the pressure away.
Simon, I thought that was you that was crying. But what a great-looking shot from Martin Larsen. Way left on the approach with his feet, using the whole width of the lane. And all the guys seem to like that, except USA captain Tommy Jones. These are all friends together. They play on the American tour. And believe it or not, they're all flying back after this tournament to Las Vegas to play in the same tournament.
Good shot. Good shot from Wes Malott. Team USA's turn to applaud. Yes, bragging rights on a 14-hour flight.
Can you imagine it?
That's what they're playing for, effectively.
I think one or two of them may pretend to be asleep.
Well, Bill O'Neill, all he can do now is smile. As he said in the last game, he's got nothing left. Palermaa, the two-hander to make it fizz in the back end. Cuts across the head pin, and that's been his problem on this long oil pattern.
Yeah, he was left of his target down lane. And of course, he's gone high. He's fortunate to break up pins and leaves just the 3, the 6 and the 10, which Martin should take away with not too much problem.
Well, Larsen's been brilliant, but just got to make this spare, and whatever happens from here, I think that's a word on Oscar Palermaa, because this has taken some courage to come back into this team.
Yes, after a 2-year absence, he's come in with a point to prove, and he is absolutely bowled like an, well, as we know it. He's averaged over 225 for every singles game that he's bowled. And his statement will be, I'm back and I want to stay back.
Here we go then. This is the key moment for Team USA. Bill O'Neill finds a strike. Well, it's been an awful time for Bill O'Neill at Weber Cup 16. Sticks with the ball that he changed to in the last match and comes up with the strike to make it a double for Team USA. What a time this would be for O'Neill to find his game.
I was just going to say, is this a secret weapon that Team USA have just found? 2 strikes in a row for the Americans.
Has to be Palermaa again. He didn't strike last time. Moves himself a little bit left on the lane to open it up. Got a decent pocket hit, but he's left a pretty flat pin.
A solid 8 pin in the pocket, crikey. So the ball's just gone through the 1-3 and the 5 pin, and with so much power it's carried straight on. Missed the deflection onto the 8 pin there. So it can only be a spare for Larsen again.
No, it isn't.
Dear, oh dear.
Well, we've talked time and time again at this Weber Cup about those moments that can change things. And there's another one right there. And Martin Larsen's miss on a single pin.
Straight down the oil line, right in the middle of the lane. It's gone absolutely nowhere. Rifle barrel straight, and it's missed a single pin, and that was a major, major error.
Through the head pin with no impetus from Wes Malott means that open frame is not stomped on by Team USA.
It leaves a spare for Bill O'Neill to shoot at. 3-6-10 on the right-hand side of the pin deck there. But how nervous is this man? He's had such an awful tournament, and I hate to keep on about it, but he really, really has struggled.
It's become the elephant in the US room, unfortunately. Bill O'Neill, at the moment, putting in a pro's performance in this 24th match of Weber Cup 16.
And they can even manage a smile because they're actually leading at the moment. Europe need Oscu to bury a strike here.
But you're saying smile, I'm saying rictus grin. They are struggling, aren't they, to crease the faces. Finds the pocket at last. It was only a matter of time. Palerma's the man that can do the damage on this lane, no doubt about it, if he finds the line.
Yeah, he's certainly got the ball. more ball than anybody else. Look at the rotation there. It just rips back in the last 15 feet. Carries all 10. Larsen likes that one because he'll be up next to shoot at a full deck of pins.
Back to Malott. He too, way left. And guides it beautifully in. Very similar line actually to Oscar Palermaa, just a little bit of pace off it though.
Yeah, the big man hits the pocket again. 3 strikes in the game so far for the Americans. Playing on the burn, so it's the 3rd game on this lane pattern that we've got. And there are some areas where the all has been moved around, it's transitioned. And if the guys can get in there and get some great reaction in the back end and get to the pocket and carry all 10.
And Larsen's out left. And works it beautifully. Oh my goodness, that was a brave move from Larsen. He's the player that will be least capable of getting through this oil, and he's fashioned a glorious shot.
Well, desperate people do desperate things. And Europe were desperate for 2 strikes in a row, and they've just got that. Great shot, Martin Larsen.
Just about keeping pace with Team USA. And what do you know? It all goes down the line to this man again. More pressure for O'Neill. Brilliant response from the real deal.
What's going on? What's going on? Bill O'Neill striking. That wasn't in the script for today, was it? Great little shot. Carries all 10. Just unbelievable. High fives all round. Even Oscu has got something to say about that one. Is Bill on his way back?
Oh, he's in a world of pain, is O'Neill. He'd like to pass some of it on to Team Europe. Golden opportunity to do so here as well. So double from Team USA. And Oscar Palermaa working a double for Team Europe. Looking for Turkey then, the Finn. Gets it! And that's where the two-hander comes into his own. That was not a good pocket hit, and he's still demolished all 10.
It's just sheer unbridled power. He almost turns his back on this one. The 5 and the 4 are the last to go, but the pin action in the back end is just fantastic.
Turn around, Oscar, you got it.
All created by the rotation and the power on that ball. That's
Malott.
a great looking shot there, isn't it?
Lovely.
Two players from either side sitting close.
Good shot, really good shot from Wes. Did it last time he stepped up. That's kind of inspired Bill O'Neill.
Well, a bit of a strike fest going on here, isn't it? From both sides. Wes using the full width of the lane, ripping the rack right in the 1-3 pocket. For 3 strikes in a row for the Americans.
And the longer we go, it means that every shot starts to become crucial.
Yeah, very much so. As we get down to frames 7 and 8, it needs to be strikes for both sides.
Looking for 4. No, slow and cuts up on him. And because he didn't have the right line to start with, that was always going to be a problem. So the strike run is broken. Martin Larsen is out of his range.
Yeah, just a little bit of overreaction there. The line was good, but not quite right. And it went straight to the face of the number 1 pin. So we've got a spare for Oscar to take. This is going to be a one-handed, hard and fast.
Did you hear that from the crowd? Meow, as the ball went down. That was a screaming spare from the twin fin. And guess what? Next man into the spotlight is the man that we've talked probably more about at this Weber Cup than any other man, Bill O'Neill. But he's played brilliantly in this doubles so far. He's playing brilliantly still. The real deal, living up to his nickname right now.
So I'm looking at the maximum scores on the screen, and it's 30 pins plus. This is the 8th frame for the Americans, so we're closing down on the finishing line, and well, they're looking strong at the moment. I must admit, there's work to do for the Europeans, and it has to start here.
Yeah, that was the damage ball from O'Neill. He stomped all over that spare frame. Larsen still has to throw the strike ball. Starts it a little wider, and there's your problem. When you do that and it doesn't come back, you're going to be left with something nasty to hit, and the big one, the 7-10 split, has, I think, sent us into this evening's play.
Game, set, match, you would suspect. Martin missed a single pin, frame number 3. He's now left the 7-10, and if anybody can spare it, it will be Oscar, who takes 0 in anger.
Field goal, straight down the middle. 212, the new potential maximum for Europe. And it's now down to Wes Malott and Bill O'Neill to put the lid on this one.
Yeah, just sewed up with the strike here. It's been a pretty good game. They've got a double in frames 2, 3, and 4 strikes in a row, and this is the foundation frame. Still pacing maximum 267.
That's okay. That's okay for Team USA. Not a great shot, but under the circumstances, it's fine.
Yeah, spare will be good. Hard and straight from Bill O'Neill, and he's made this. He's played a brilliant game, actually. I think he's struck either 3 or 4 times in this game.
Yes, it's time to say well done, Bill O'Neill. Few players have had to suffer the indignities that man has had to suffer over the last few days, but he's back. Larsen then. Bit of a lost cause here for Team Europe. And it's not getting any better, I'm afraid. Another session beckons to get this one sorted. I love it. Bill O'Neill just said to Martin Larsen, "Are you using one of my balls?" That's cruel.
Don't you just love it? Camaraderie between all players.
Harsh but fair. Let's hope that Bill O'Neill isn't chirping too early. So Malott steps up. First part of sealing the deal here in match 24. Strike would do nicely, but a spare's fine.
Simon, anything would do nicely here.
Rolls it slow and steady and purposeful. All he was trying to do there was arrive in the middle of the pack and knock some pins over. That's all he was trying to do.
It is a victory for Team USA.
And so, we go on. And it's courtesy of the fine performance from Bill O'Neill. He was the glue that held that together for Team USA. The first time we've said that during the whole of Weber Cup 16. Well played, the real deal.
Yeah, no, that's great. He's bowled really well in this game, and it was all or nothing. And he's come out and he can hold his head high.
Victory lap then, Team USA. And it's 9 pins for the shutout. Big smile from Big Wes, because it means that we will bowl on. And Team USA still aren't out of it yet. Well, they tried to do everything right. The Scandinavian players coming on with their children in the walk-on. It was a very emotional moment. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough just to settle things down on this long oil pattern for Oscar Palermaa and Martin Larsen. And as ever, once the pressure's off, the strikes come.
2 to go from frames, unfortunately killed it off for the European side. The Americans were playing all the way through with 6 strikes.
There you go, slightly deflated response from this crowd, who built themselves up for the big win well inside time on the afternoon session. USA improved their lot to 16-8. And for Team Europe, it's the waiting game. And they'll have to wait until the next session. 231 then beats 192. And USA live to fight another session of 10-pin bowling here at Weber Cup 16. It's been a fantastic afternoon, and Team USA still not done.